It's June 6th, 2022, and this is the Watson Weekly, your essential e-commerce digest. Today on our show, Rick is out of town, but we have a new special edition interview with a very dear friend of mine, John Lawson. John ColderICE Lawson is one of the OGs of e-commerce and a small business coach for growing e-commerce sellers. Today's episode is a wide-ranging interview on a number of super interesting topics, such as how do you compete with Amazon as a retailer or brand? The very early days of eBay and what they got wrong, the history of e-commerce, and social selling, and finally, the importance of understanding your audience in e-commerce. Welcome, everyone. This is Rick Watson, host of the Watson Weekly Podcast. This is the dinosaur edition of the Watson Weekly Podcast. I'm really excited to interview / talk trash with an old friend of mine, Mr. John Lawson, literally one of the OGs of e-commerce and anything related to the interwebs.
Yeah, the interwebs. How about that? What's up?
John, we're out here today at the Directors Guild of America, the Global E-commerce Leaders Forum. How the hell do I describe to people who John Lawson is? What is John Lawson?
You know what? I think just at the basic level, I mean, I'm an e-commerce coach, I'm a business coach. And I just think a lot of people need that before they even get to the consulting part. It's like I got to coach them a little bit. And
they need personal coaching.
They do. Everybody needs personal coaching.
I need a personal coach.
Everybody needs personal coaching. I tell people part of the coaching is being a bartender. You have to listen to people's issues.
Being a bartender.
Yes.
Bartenders make the best psychologists.
They do, don't they?
Right.
Because they listen to people all day and spout off some wisdom and you get out of there. Plus you're drunk. But that helps too.
It certainly helps. So how did you originally get into e-commerce? Like go back to the beginning. Like and
yeah.
What decade are we talking about here?
So it's around 2000. A friend of mine came to me with a house flipping opportunity. Mm-hmm. I was the guy signing the paperwork, and he was supposed to be the boots on the ground getting the work done.
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be. I did say that, right?
Right?
I did say that. And so, long story short, I got stuck with a second mortgage that I really couldn't afford while I was still, working at my job in consulting. Somebody told me, well, hey, you can sell stuff on eBay. And
Unbelievable.
I was like, eBay?
In 2000, somebody was saying, you should be selling on eBay.
You should just sell some stuff on eBay. And my company, I work for Accenture, and they used to give us a book budget, right?
Okay.
So it's like every month you'd get like $200 for books. And so, I'm buying all those Q books and all the coding books.
Right.
But once you read through, you don't really need the book anymore.
Right.
And so I started flipping those on eBay.
Unbelievable. You had the best setup. You had free inventory.
No, it got better.
You had free inventory.
I got better than that.
All right, keep going.
No, but I'm just saying that was the beginning, but I ran out. Right?
You can only buy 200
There's only
books
so many
a month.
books. Right. Yeah.
But you were already clearing something.
Yeah, I was enough to make.
It wasn't paying off your mortgage.
It was enough to pay off the other mortgage.
Okay.
I got to that point,
Got it.
But then I was run out of books. So one day we're sitting in Waffle House.
Do all the best ideas happen in Waffle House?
Or
is it just
some bad ideas happen in Waffle House too.
Well, walking into the Waffle House is like part of the bad idea to begin with.
No, I love Waffle House. I love Waffle House. That's my spot, man.
Oh man.
But it's great when it's 2 a.m. and you have nothing better.
Where else are you gonna go?
That's right. So we're looking through the paper. So again, that's an ancient thing, for us old.
Yeah, who reads the newspaper anymore?
Nobody, right? But you remember they used to have the sales circular. Mm-hmm. And right around this time is when Office Depot, Office Max, Staples were all fighting each other. And the inkjet printer was coming out, basically. And they were doing all of this free after rebate. You get the printer for free with a rebate, and because they just want you to be stuck on the inks, right? And so
it's like the razor and the blade situation going on.
So we used to buy these. My husband's very good at doing the paperwork and making sure we got all of our refunds, right? So we would take that box, open it, because you remember it had starter inks in it.
Right.
So we would separate the inks from the printers, put the printer back in the box, and sell it as an open box printer.
Okay.
Right? It's brand new open box, which it was. Just didn't have inks. And we would sell the inks and the printer, and we would it was so good.
That's great.
Yeah, I also said it got better because the money there, we were getting free inventory.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. And we sold a lot of that crap.
How much would you sell on eBay in your peak year?
God, I know we were doing over 25K a month because we were, platinum level. So
Yeah.
I want to say, I don't know, 500.
$500,000.
Yeah.
That's a good number for an individual selling on eBay.
Yeah, and it was just the two of us. The fees weren't outrageous. Right. We were running auctions.
Yeah, what did it cost to sell on eBay back in the day? I don't even remember.
You would pay a final value fee.
Right.
Because we would start
3% or something.
Something like that, maybe 3 to 5%. I mean, now it's up to like 12,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
rent is too damn high now.
It's too high.
It's too high.
It's too high, And there wasn't a whole lot of regulations, good or bad,
Right. Right. You could do whatever you wanted.
Pretty much.
Until eBay slapped your hand, which they did sometimes.
Right. And then, we came into your world.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, wow. Not only could we do this, but we could automate it. I mean, the tools you guys created, were amazing.
So what John's referring to is my introduction to e-commerce started at the end of 99, December 1st, 1999. I'll never forget. I was at a company called Channel Advisor, and we were building software tools for eBay sellers because nobody was selling on Amazon those days. You couldn't even sell on Amazon.
No, it wasn't even open at the time.
It was not open. eBay was the only place to be, literally the only place to be. And we had a lot of folks. This is why this is the dinosaur edition. We feel like we're the e-commerce dinosaurs. Hopefully we're not going to get hit by a comet or something. But all the stuff that we did back in the day are things that people are still trying to figure out now.
That's true.
So
that's true.
Talk to me about some of your content and your videos that you started back in like 2003 or something.
Yeah. So basically I was, like you said, it was a, 2-person shop, really a 1-person shop. Right. And I would sell these bandanas. One day I walked into the store.
First of all, why bandanas?
Well, they were cheap. They came in a 12-pack.
That's a good enough idea.
For like $5 or $4 or something. I'm like, I wonder if we could sell these on eBay. That was always the thing. We were always looking for stuff to sell.
Could I sell this?
Could I sell this, right? And so I got the bandanas and they started selling like immediately, right? They were like, okay, these are pretty good. The problem was this was at the height of the acceptance of hip hop for the whole, culture. It moved from just an underground thing to
like
now
Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg
Dre and Snoop and Eminem, right? And Tupac, which was weird because he had already been dead,
right?
But his resurgence was around the same time, and he would have this video out, and people wanted to know how to fold their bandana to look like Tupac
Unbelievable,
right? And I made a video how to fold a bandana like Tupac.
Why did you think of making a video?
Because I got so many questions. You remember, there was no way to really automate the the eBay system, right? So you had to answer, because if you didn't answer, you get some strikes. It's like you got stuff sitting in your mailbox there. So I got so many questions about how to fold it. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make a video. And I made this cheap garbage video, but it showed you how to fold it. And then when people would ask, I'd literally do a copy paste.
Send them the video.
And send them the video, right? And that thing just got like 300,000
Was YouTube even around then? You put it up on YouTube?
It was on YouTube.
Yeah,
it was YouTube, and it just had, started doing its thing.
Got it. And so you were basically making this... You could say high quality, you could say low quality. It almost doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It still doesn't matter.
It served a purpose.
Exactly. If you're answering questions.
And so you're answering questions. So going back to the original eBay day, what you're talking about is buyers could ask sellers a question.
Yeah.
And sellers needed to answer because eBay wanted to ensure that buyers were having a good experience.
Right.
And what you saw was that the buyers were asking the same questions. There's only one thing.
Over and over.
What else do you do with these bandanas? But want to look like Tupac
So ridiculous.
or Biggie.
It was so ridiculous.
Those are the two people. It's either Biggie or Tupac. Pick one.
Yeah. And here's the other thing too. I mean,
I don't think Dr. Dre wore a bandana.
The other thing was culturally. I mean, black folks, we know how to do that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was
White folks didn't know how to do that.
They really didn't. Right. And I didn't realize that was like we're here talking about global. For us, that was, eBay was global.
Right.
I'm thinking I'm just selling to the East Coast, West Coast kind of thing. And all of a sudden, all these people in the center of the country are buying because they're not able to access a lot of the hip hop gear that we were selling. So I used to get those questions, just simply, how to rock this gear that way.
Yeah.
And I would have to teach them.
And you obviously were very successful selling on eBay, but then you also transitioned some of your time and energy around that time into what you might call literally the first influencer ever.
Yeah, that's kind of true too, man. It was on Twitter. Very early. I remember there was like 20,000 people on Twitter.
Right.
That early. And I was so used to water cooler talk.
Right.
From being in the office all the time. And I just had nobody to talk to. It got lonely. And I just started talking on Twitter. And all of a sudden, people started engaging with me, started following me. I would do content for people. I remember one time we ran a contest. They were doing this contest on how to, on savviest in social media. So They wanted votes. So I came up with the idea. I was like, I'm going to put 5 news stories that I'm reading today. And then the 5th thing was, please vote for me if you like the stories. And I ended up winning from that.
Unbelievable.
But I think that's kind of the influencer. It started moving forward from there.
Yeah, and you became known online. People know. So
ColderICE.
Talk to me. Yeah, ColderICE.
Right.
John ColderICE. That's your last name as far as I'm concerned.
I know, right? It's so weird.
So ColderICE, where did that come from?
So, I mean, my name is John Lawson. It's a very common name. When I looked it up, there were like 8 million John Lawsons, right? So I was like, I need a moniker. I need something different.
Right.
There's an old saying that in the South, when there was segregation, right? If you think about it, everything that was white, there had to be a black version, So we don't really think about the entrepreneurial spirit of these days and times today. We don't really think about it. But everything, if you wanted your shoes shine, you wanted a hotel, you wanted a cab ride.
Because you could literally not go to the other one.
Exactly. There was no, you want a storefront. This is where you go.
Yeah. By the way, I just watched the movie Green Book again, which is about which is a phenomenal movie for anyone who has not seen it.
Yeah. But it really, it shows you how, you had to have this
literally
green book.
How it worked.
Yeah. This green book was like, these are the safe places for you to go and not get killed when riding through the South. But anyway, so the deal was when segregation was over, and a lot of black storefront owners would sit and watch their patrons go past their store to go shop down at, Walmart or Walgreens or whatever it was back then.
Yeah.
And so they came up with the saying that I guess the white man's ice is colder. And that's where I got it from. Right?
I love that.
Yeah. And the deal was for me, I didn't think anybody would listen to me back then. This was,
it's typical of anyone. It's weird. Like imposter syndrome. You're like,
totally.
Why would someone listen to me? I think most people, anyone's doing anything, starting a business for sure. Why would somebody listen to me? Why do you think people listen to you? Because people did and still do.
I still can't figure it out. But the cool thing is,
people are.
Yes, use it. Use it. But I definitely think I've got a very unique way of simplifying complex issues. I think that's
And I think that's worth a lot because there are a lot of people that make things too damn complicated.
Right. They use all these humble jumble buzzwords just to be using them.
Yeah.
And
in a business, you need to attract customers. You need to make them happy. and you need to make a profit.
Yeah,
Those are the three things.
It's not that hard, is it?
That's it.
Right. And everything else is fluff.
Right.
You know?
And so you really break it down for these small business owners.
Yeah.
Are they mostly small business owners?
Mostly small business owners, startups. And the cool thing is, the e-commerce, I think there's so many tools now that have made e-commerce, they've removed a lot of the bar to entry, So you can build
it's
a Shopify
easy to start a store now.
You buy a Shopify store, you find some crap on, Alibaba and start selling it, And then that doesn't work, and then you create a course telling people how to make it that work. But at any rate.
Yeah, about here in my garage or something like that.
But the E part is the most important part. The electronic, that's the E, right? And a lot of people don't understand enough about it to really be successful. I'm like, I want you to spend time in this part of your business, understand the technology that's running this, because that's what, if you tweak this one thing, right, it can double your conversion rate.
Yeah.
And they just didn't know that.
Interesting.
And I took a lot of this stuff for granted because I've been around forever, right? And I'm like, I think everybody knows.
It's the dinosaur edition after all.
It is the dinosaur edition, right? I bet you would assume most people know that. And so you get into these businesses, they're doing millions of dollars a year, and they have no email sequence.
Right.
I'm like, dude, you know how much money you're leaving on the table? You don't have an SMS series at all? Do you know what you could be doing right now? Let's get that together.
Right.
Little things like that.
Yeah. And so it's steps that people don't realize they're missing.
Right. Right.
It's like, it's not what you know, it's what you don't know. And you're bringing that to people in a simple way.
Yeah, absolutely.
In what's going on. And so we were at all these crazy events together, Channel Advisor Conference, Catalyst, or Marathon, or whatever the heck they were called.
Right? PISA events.
Does PISA even exist anymore?
No, that was a Professional eBay Sellers Association, right? But here's the thing, if you do you remember this? It was the PISA people that actually beta tested Amazon.
Jonathan Garris.
Yep.
All those guys.
Yep. Amazon came to PISA and made a deal and said, hey, we want you guys, since you're the biggest sellers on Amazon or eBay, to test our third-party system.
And eBay seems to have missed the boat on that.
Oh, man.
What do you think eBay missed all these years?
If you create a lane, stay in it. eBay created a lane. Auctions. Right? And they tried so hard to pivot. Do you remember when they created a separate platform? It was like eBay Plus or eBay.
Yeah.
You remember that?
eBay Express.
eBay Express. It sure was.
By the way, you know who created eBay Express?
Who's that?
Jamie Iannone, the current CEO of eBay.
Wow, really?
He's back.
That's insane.
He's back,
man.
Folks, but I don't think he's going to try that again.
No, well, it just did not work.
Jamie, if you're out there,
don't do that.
Don't do it again.
Don't do that. Then that didn't work, so they decided to change the main platform into eBay Express.
Right. That didn't work either. Neither of them worked.
Neither one of them worked. And eBay's still existing, but it's a shadow of because they abandoned the core of what made eBay so amazing.
And what do you what's the essence of eBay? Like, what is the beating heart of eBay in your opinion?
Today,
back then. Let's start back then.
So back then, the beating heart was definitely the finding of something and the thrill of the auction.
It's like the treasure hunt.
Yeah, it was the treasure hunt, which is cool, but also the thrill of it was gamification.
The winning.
Yeah, exactly. It was gamification. Right.
That's one thing that Meg Whitman understood. I think that the next CEOs did not.
No, the next CEOs had already made up some other plans.
They all fucked it up. Let's be honest here.
You know what? Here's the funny thing. John Donahoe. Yes, he kind of fucked
Smart guy.
But he came in when it was already fucked up. He's trying to put it back together.
True.
To some degree. But he came from that Bain Capital background, right? But here's the funny part. He's the CEO of Nike now.
Unbelievable,
right? But you think about it. When he got there, he pulled everything off of Amazon. And I think that has something to do with his days back at eBay.
Yeah, he's just trying to stick it to eBay or something.
Or Amazon, yeah.
All these guys, it's like, no more marketplaces.
No more marketplaces. And it's working.
Right.
It's working.
Well, Nike is an amazing brand.
It is. But I remember when he went over there, I'm like, I hope he doesn't kill it. You know. Love you, John. I thought he was a really interesting person.
Super smart guy.
Super smart. Very personable.
PayPal was a genius acquisition.
Oh man, come on. I think eBay also lost the sauce that they were a technology company.
You think they became? What I found is that there are a lot of people that came in from like Harvard Business School. They never sold a thing on their own.
Yep.
And then they had this idea of what selling online was like, but none of them had ever done it.
None. And they were, the edicts they brought in were just ridiculous.
They would create these huge presentations and they would talk about it with each other all day.
Yep. Circle jerk.
Can we say that on the podcast?
I don't know. That's not a curse word.
I think it's all right.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, and they were like, oh, that's a good idea. And that's a great idea. And never asked the users.
Yeah. Then what happens? eBay Express happens.
Exactly. I mean, sellers could have told you that was going to be
from day one
a complete mess.
From day one.
Complete mess.
And Scott Wingo, he let him have it. He did not hold back pulling punches on eBay. He used to have a blog. You don't see him blogging too much about this anymore.
No.
I think he's moved on from eBay.
Yeah.
But he's still the chairman of Channel Advisor, so he has his finger in the pie somewhere. But he used to blast eBay all the time on these news.
It used to be amazing. I mean, I remember, at the conference, you couldn't wait for Scott Wingo's keynote because he was about to bring you, it was so visionary.
Right.
He really did have a grasp on what this was about to do.
Scott was so brilliant at the time, predicting what was going to happen.
Yeah,
I swear, in 2005, he predicted that Amazon would
take over.
You like in the future, you're going to buy your cereal from Amazon,
and you'd be like, dude, what are you talking?
Amazon brand cereal. He said those words.
Amazon brand cereal. Wow.
And now
it's Amazon brand cereal.
It's fucking Amazon brand cereal. It's everywhere. It's Amazon brand everything. Everything. Like, name a product that Amazon doesn't produce now. You can't name it.
I can't really name one.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And if you can name one, put yours on there and they'll create it.
I just saw an announcement today, and I posted about it on LinkedIn. Amazon is offering sellers the chance to be Prime on their own website. So if you have a Shopify store, you can sign up for be a Prime merchant, and you have to ship with FBA. So fulfillment, you have to put your products with Amazon. You put a button on your website, says buy with Prime, no shipping, get it in 2 days. Just like when you go on Amazon, but you can do it on your own store. What do you think about that?
Who is going to compete? That's what I think.
How do you match that?
I don't think you can, bro. Right. I really don't think they are so forward thinking. And I mean, they've been able to do this. A lot of people I know use them for fulfillment.
Right.
But now to put it on the site and the branding, because Prime branding is an amazing brand.
It's a killer.
It's a killer brand, right? I remember the first time I flew into an airport and I saw a plane, and it wasn't an Amazon plane. It was a Prime plane. It was Prime Air. I'm like, what are they doing?
That's fascinating.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, what are they doing? I was like, they're turning Prime into a brand. They're already ready to be broken up.
I don't see that happening anytime soon with what we have in Congress going on now.
Yeah, right.
You're right. Yeah, we can barely they can maybe even walk, they can barely even walk into the building without falling down on themselves.
Yeah.
Much less break up a big company that's a lot smarter than they are. No offense to our
But they are,
Congress.
I think they're totally ready for whatever, regulations come down. But they have built this Prime thing.
It's a monster.
It's a monster.
I remember, why the heck is Amazon getting into the video business?
Right.
What does it mean, Amazon Video? And you notice they started rebranding those things.
To Prime Video.
It's Prime Video.
Right.
And so Prime is like this. Amazon is a thing, but Prime is a different thing, right? And so everybody knows Prime now.
Yeah, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It's
the flywheel of Prime is absolutely amazing, man.
It's amazing all the things that Amazon lets you do now. And how do you compete? Like, that's the question. How do you compete?
I think you can't compete on everything. Mm-hmm. So you got to make your niche and then work it. I mean, look at Wayfair, right? They compete. Right. Remember Zappos was competing back in the day.
Right.
So they have chinks in the armor.
The answer is, your answer is to niche down.
Niche down.
That's the answer. That's my answer too. That's what I tell everybody. It's like, forget about horizontal. You go vertical.
Yes.
And you go deep.
Deep. And that's where the money's at.
And you make bandana videos. Yeah. That's how you compete with Amazon. You make some damn bandana videos.
Yeah, it works. Social media works, man.
Exactly.
It works.
I didn't see an Amazon Basics bandana yet, so they haven't copied
Not yet. Right. Not yet, but I'm sure. Amazon has so many brands.
Unbelievable. How many do they have?
Like over 85 brands.
Okay.
That people don't even know are Amazon brands. In all categories, homeware and, electronics, all that kind of stuff. It's crazy.
That's amazing.
Amazon is a beast.
So kind of going back and forward, your business owners you're talking to about e-commerce, what's something that you knew 20 years ago that was just obvious to you that people still don't get today?
I would say social.
Social.
It was always obvious to me that social media and selling socially, and it's not even mature yet. Right. Right. We're still in the infant stage of, Kardashian, that's baby stages, even though they're selling millions. I'm not saying that. But the deal is that if you go into any location in the world, there is a marketplace in the center of town. And not only are there markets, but there's coffee shops. So where there's conversation, there's commerce.
Interesting.
Right? And I don't think people completely get the conversation part. And that's what social media allows us to do. It allows us to have multiple conversations, one to many.
Yeah.
Right? And it's about to be a whole nother level coming up.
That's fascinating. I love this point because when people ask me about e-commerce and they come to me and they're like, oh, should I drop ship? How should I get into e-commerce? I'm like, don't drop ship. Don't think about selling. Think about creating content and finding your people.
Right. Find the audience.
Offer them anything interesting and useful and get them coming back to you.
Yep.
Then later on,
sell them something.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But don't do the other way around. Don't find a product and then sell it. Isn't that the worst idea in the world?
That is the worst idea. It's like, I got to convince everybody that you need this product.
Who wants to do that?
A lot of people.
A lot of people, apparently. Everybody that comes to you for advice is doing it the opposite way they should be doing it.
Right. You need to find the audience first.
How should someone think about the audience? Like when you run across someone that you see doing this, they bought a product and they think they're going to make $1 million just because they have a bunch of it. And then they're going to put it on a website, and it's like the Field of Dreams. Everyone's going to come to my website because I have it, even though, by the way, you can just buy the same thing cheaper on Amazon. Same damn thing cheaper on Amazon.
That's right.
But they're unique and special because they paid for it. That's why that's the only reason they're unique and special. So how do you start to talk to them about an audience? What do you want them to understand about their audience before they start selling?
I think the most important thing to know about your audience is that it's a product that they want. See, we all need certain things. Right. I get it. Just because this is what you need this. That's not what people buy. People don't buy what they need. They buy what they want, right? So you've got to figure out what they want and position your marketing so that they're buying what they want, even though you're giving them what they need.
This is a fascinating concept, and this kind of goes along with something I thought for a long time. When people try to sell their company, they're like, oh, I'm going to sell my company. It's like, well, no, companies aren't sold. Companies are bought.
Interesting.
There's a difference. And the distinction is people think like, oh, if I want to sell this laptop and there are 100 people in the room and they don't want a laptop, then you're going to give away this damn laptop.
Yeah, it's worthless.
Right? It's completely worthless.
Right.
So you can't time the sale any old time that you think you're going to be, depending on which room. You need to know what room you're in first and figure out who wants it. Does anyone want this thing that I have?
Right.
And so maybe I should be selling it differently or selling something else.
Something completely different. Right. I don't know how many times we pivoted, but I will tell you the 80-20 rule works everywhere. Yeah. So 80% of the stuff that I've tried to sell, didn't sell. It's always about finding that 20%. Right. And that 20% or maybe 10% or 5%, but that's the one that blows up and gives you the massive surge.
And when you find it, there's no trick to it. You just kind of know.
Right. And then you got to go deep. That's when you go deep.
Right.
All
right.
That's what we
if
did.
your bandana starts selling, then you need them in every color. And then maybe you start selling shoelaces.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it worked.
So how did you get into shoelaces?
That exact same thing.
You're like, what else could I sell these people?
Right. What else do they...
By the way, my shoelaces break sometimes.
Oh, okay. Well, we can hook you up. What else? It's like, what else do they need? So we ended up with shoelaces, bandanas, bling jewelry, sweatbands, hats. We just did all kinds of stuff, man. But it was all based on the audience that we, got to know.
Right.
And like I said, when I started, I had an idea of the audience. It was going to be that East Coast, West Coast kind of thing, urban only. And when we ended up finding these other pockets of America, it's like, okay, what else are you guys interested in? And we would ask.
They will tell you.
They will. If you ask them, it's amazing how many people have never asked their audience anything.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
Like literally just call them on the phone?
Yeah, you
just
can call them on the phone.
Just have a conversation with them.
Yeah, or do surveys.
Survey or something.
Just ask people. They want to tell you. They want to tell you.
I think a lot of companies don't realize that.
I don't think they care enough. I don't think they care enough.
That is a good point.
Yeah, you need to care. That's the thing. You talk about how do you compete with Amazon? Care more.
That's hard to do.
I know. But Amazon cares.
They care a lot
about that customer. It drives me crazy as a vendor on the platform, but as a buyer on the platform, I feel safe, secure. Yeah. The experience is absolutely amazing. So there you go.
I couldn't agree more. You need to care more than the other.
Care more.
More than the other person.
Just care enough to ask the right questions, to improve the product, to improve the process. You have to care.
Yeah. Caring about the customer is important, but there's also business fundamentals that you care about too.
Right.
Which is like, am I making any damn money?
There's a lot of people that don't care.
How do you coach people on that? Do you coach?
Oh my God.
Is it coachable? Do they know how much profit they're making? Most business owners.
A lot of them don't. They don't know it rightfully. They don't know it rightfully. I mean, I remember when I was a young business owner. Sure. I didn't care. All I wanted to make sure was the bills were paid.
Right. Yeah, as long as there's much money in the account,
exactly.
I can pay off my bills.
Then I was happy. I was always happy to have a cash flow.
Right.
That anytime I wanted to go and dip my bucket in, I could and buy the pool or whatever, Right. But it's
you bought a pool?
I did. I bought a pool, man.
You sold a lot of bandanas.
We did sell a lot of bandanas.
This is why you should listen to John, everyone, because he sold enough bandanas to buy a damn pool.
I bought a pool, a house, and a car, all in the same year. It was just, we were blowing up.
That's unbelievable.
It is pretty cool.
John, it's been so much fun hanging out here and love catching up. Where can people learn more about what you're doing? How can they get in touch with you?
JohnLawson.com.
Hit your boy up. He can help fix your business. Or if you need anything, any help with growth. Why is my business not growing as fast as it should be? How do I take advantage of e-commerce? How can I make more money in my business?
That's it. That's all it's about,
That's
brother.
all. So,
yes.
Appreciate you spending time with me.
It was great, brother.
Thanks a lot. That's all for this week. Till next time, Watsonians. Hi, I'm Rick Watson, CEO and founder of RMW Commerce Consulting and host of the Watson Weekly Podcast, your essential e-commerce digest. Our show is produced by Citizen Racecar. Alex Brower is the producer and also wrote our theme music. The executive producer is David Hoffman. To hear new episodes of the show every Monday morning, subscribe now at rmwcommerce.com/Watson Weekly and wherever you get your podcasts.